Manchester United fans, it's time for war, and I don't say that lightly. This is not just another Premier League fixture, this is a full-blown battle. We are walking straight into Villa Park to face the most informed team in the league right now. Aston Villa have won 9 games in a row. They are sitting third on the table, just 1 point behind Manchester City and 3 points off Arsenal. They have beaten Manchester City at the Villa's Park. They've beaten Arsenal at Villa Park. This is a team full of confidence, momentum, belief, an attacking machine right now, and yet some people are acting like this game is a joke. No. This is war. And if Manchester United truly want to be back where we belong, these are the exact wars we must learn how to fight and win. Yes, historically, even in our weakest periods, we've often found a way against Aston Villa. But let's be honest with ourselves, this is not the Aston Villa of old. This is a different Villa. This is a new Villa, ruthless, organized, fearless. And to make things even tougher, we are heading into this battle without Ahmad, without Mbeumo, without Mazroui, and without Casemiro. Let that sink in. That's not funny. That's serious. But one thing is certain, we always show up when everyone writes us off. We ended Crystal Palace's unbeaten run at home, and now the big question is, can we do the same to Aston Villa at the Villa Park? So in this video, I'm going to build the best possible formation, the best possible lineup, and the right tactical plan to neutralize Aston Villa in their own home. This won't be our usual approach. This will be our new system, flexible, adaptive, and built for this specific war. I'll explain how it works, why it works, and how it can adapt within the game itself. So before we get into it, please give a like to this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notification bell, because you don't want to miss any of my videos. Now let's get into the battle plan. We will not be using the usual 3-4-2-1 formation for this game, and there is a very clear reason for that. Amorim has already shown signs of adapting into a new system, and this is exactly the system we are going to rely on in the absence of some very key players. That system is the 4-4-2. On paper, it might look confusing to some people. At times, it may even resemble a 3-4-3 when you look at the lineup graphic. But once the game starts, it will be very clear that what we are actually playing is a 4-4-2. I know a lot of fans are calling for a 4-3-3 instead, and I understand why. But in this particular situation, with the players we are missing and the kind of opponent we are facing, a 4-4-2 makes more sense. It gives us balance, structure, and protection in areas where we have been exposed recently. I will explain exactly why this setup works better later in the video. But before we get into the tactical details, let's start by building the starting 11. In goal, I am going with Lamens. Yes, people have pointed out that in his first 10 games he has conceded a similar number of goals with Onana, and that is true. But that statistic alone doesn't tell the full story. If anything, it highlights how vulnerable the midfield and defensive structure have been. Without Lamens, we could have conceded far more goals in those games. This situation has made one thing very clear: the goalkeeper alone cannot fix these problems. Still, putting all that aside, Lamens has saved us on several occasions, and without him, we could have lost the last game against Bournemouth. For this reason, he remains my choice in goal. Now moving to the defensive line. At right back, I am going with Diogo Dalot. In our last 3 games, he has been directly involved in goals while playing as a left wing back. That shows he is beginning to understand exactly what this system demands from him. He scored against West Ham, assisted against Wolves, and played a key role in creating the first goal against Bournemouth. That is exactly the kind of contribution you want from a wide defender. However, in this game, he will return to his natural and preferred position at right back, and I expect even more consistency from him there. At left back, I am choosing Luke Shaw, without any hesitation. He has helped us massively while playing as a left centre-back, but this game requires him in his natural role. We need his attacking support, his overlaps, and his delivery from wide areas. To make that work properly, we also need a natural centre-back beside him, allowing Shaw to focus on what he does best rather than constantly covering defensively. For the left centre-back position, I am going with Lisandro Martinez. He is fully fit now, and this is exactly the type of game where his presence is crucial. In the last match, we played with two inexperienced defenders, and it cost us heavily. Martinez brings leadership, aggression, and experience at the back. He organizes, he communicates, and he understands pressure games like this. His role in this match will be extremely important. On the right centre-back, I am going with Heaven. With Matthijs de Ligt currently a doubt for this game, Heaven becomes the next logical option. Ideally, if de Ligt is fully fit and ready, he would start here. But based on current availability, Heaven gets the nod. He has already shown composure and maturity beyond his age, and this game will be another big test for him if de Ligt is unavailable. Now we move into the heart of the team, the midfield, and this is where the real balance of this game will be decided. In the absence of key players, this is the moment for others to step up, and on the left side of the central midfield, I am going with Kobbie Mainoo. Yes, this is his time. This is his opportunity. This is the moment where Mainoo has to show that he can offer something meaningful to this Manchester United team when it truly matters. There have been reports and sources linking him with a move to Napoli, but I'll say this clearly, right now, staying at Manchester United might actually be the best thing for him. With players missing, his path into the starting 11 becomes clearer. This is the kind of stage where Mainoo can prove his value, prove his importance, and prove that he belongs in this conversation. Alongside him on the right side of that central midfield, I'm going with Manuel Ugarte. A player who has spent time on the bench, a player who hasn't complained, a player who hasn't had fans shouting his name the way they do for others. Yes, it's fair to say he hasn't always been convincing, and yes, there have been performances that left questions. But this is exactly the kind of game where you give him that opportunity to respond. This midfield needs energy, intensity, and aggression, and that is what Ugarte is supposed to bring. He has to show better connection with the players around him, he has to reduce unnecessary mistakes, and he has to move the ball quicker and cleaner. If he can do that, he can bring balance to this midfield, working in tandem with Mainoo to give United the solidity and bite they will need in a hostile environment like Villa Park. Now moving out wide, on the right side of midfield, I'm placing Bruno Fernandes. And the reason is very clear, I do not want Bruno burdened with heavy defensive responsibility in the center of the pitch. I want the two central midfielders focused on their specific jobs, doing the hard work both defensively and in transition, while Bruno operates with freedom. From this position, Bruno can drift inside, deliver crosses, create chances, and still influence the game without being tied down defensively. We've seen him play this role before, especially in the past when players like Pogba were available, and now he has to step into it again. This role gives Bruno liberty to roam, to create, to lead, and to be everywhere on the pitch when the team needs him. On the left side of midfield, I'm going with Mason Mount. He has been one of the more reliable players for us during this phase of the season. He has brought energy, intelligence, and discipline, and his importance has grown steadily. There's also a clear pattern. Since the loss to Arsenal in the first game of the season, we haven't lost a match when Mason Mount has started. That says a lot. In this role, he gives us flexibility. With the ball, he can push high and operate almost like a left winger, supporting attacks and making late runs. Without the ball, he drops inside, effectively becoming a third central midfielder, helping us maintain a compact and disciplined midfield four. That balance will be crucial against an Aston Villa side that thrives on intensity and quick transitions. Now let's move into the attacking department, because this is where the real damage has to be done. Leading the line, I am going with Benjamin Sesko, and for a game like this, he absolutely has to start. He is back, he is fit, and this is exactly the kind of match that suits his profile. Aston Villa are aggressive, they push high, and that means crosses, second balls, and physical battles inside the box will be key. Sesko has to be ready for that. He has to attack every cross, every loose ball, every half chance. With Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount operating from wide midfield positions, crosses will definitely come into the box. Add to that Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot, both playing in their natural fullback positions and both comfortable delivering balls with their stronger foot, and you can already see the picture. The supply will be there. So for Sesko, This is about movement, timing, strength, and presence. If he attacks the box the right way, Villa will struggle to deal with him all game. And alongside him, as the second striker, I am going with Sesko Cunha. This is a pairing that can cause serious problems. Cunha is an absolute workhorse, a player who brings power, intensity, and non-stop energy to the forward line. He doesn't just stay high waiting for the ball, he drops deep, he holds it up, he links play, and then he drives forward with purpose. Against an Aston Villa defense that likes to step up and press, Cunha's ability to carry the ball, draw defenders, and create space will be crucial. He gives us an outlet on the counter, he gives us physical presence, and he gives Sesko the support he needs up front. Villa's defenders will not get a second to breathe with these two leading the line, and that relentless energy is exactly what we need in a game of this magnitude. Now let's break down the tactics and really explain how this formation can work for us in this game. For me, everything starts with Bruno Fernandes, because he is the key that makes this entire system flexible. With Bruno on the pitch in this role, this formation is never fixed. Even though we are starting in a 4-4-2, it can easily transform into something else during the game. And yes, we can even shift into a 4-3-3 at certain moments, but I don't want that to be our main shape. The reason is simple, we don't have the natural wingers available to play a full-time 4-3-3 in this match. That's why the 4-4-2 makes more sense. It allows us to overload the attack with two strikers, stretch Aston Villa's defense, and constantly deliver balls into dangerous areas. Bruno's role is crucial here because he gives us tactical freedom. When he drifts inside from the right, the shape instantly changes. He joins the midfield, and just like that, we are operating with a three-man midfield. At the same time, Mason Mount pushes higher on the left side and plays more like a forward, while Bruno occupies that advanced midfield space. In those moments, the team naturally shifts into a midfield 3 and a front 3 without forcing it. We will also see rotations between Bruno and Casemiro during the game. There will be times when Bruno drops deeper into midfield to help control the game, and Mainoo moves out to the right side to cover that wide midfield role. These switches won't be random, they will be part of the plan. This match is going to be about movement, intelligence, and adaptability. It won't be a rigid system where players are glued to one position. Instead, it will be a tactical battle built on switching roles, changing shapes, and constantly adapting to what Aston Villa throw at us. Now let's talk about how we can actually win this game the right way. And regardless of formations, tactics, lineups, I always say this, nothing works if the players don't fight. No system, no shape, no instructions will save you if the players don't give everything on the pitch. This has to be played like a Champions League final. Every duel has to be contested, every loose ball has to be chased, every second ball has to be won. The moment we lose possession, every single player must react immediately, sprint back, hunt the ball, close spaces, and stop Aston Villa right in midfield. We cannot allow them to walk the ball toward our box. We must kill their attacks early. Bruno and Mason Mount have a huge responsibility in this game. When we are out of possession, they must drop back and support the midfield. They have to overload the center, close passing lanes, press with intensity, and track runners with energy and speed. This is exactly where we've struggled all season, leaving our midfield exposed. Mainoo and Ugarte cannot be left alone. They need constant support, constant movement around them, and constant protection. Defensively, this has to be a battle. Communication is non-negotiable. Awareness is non-negotiable. That is why Martinez is so important here, to guide, to organize, and to help Heaven with positioning and decision-making. Last game, we conceded goals because of poor awareness and lack of communication. This time, it has to be different. The back line must talk, must stay alert, must stay switched on for every second. One lapse, 1 second of sleep, and the Premier League punishes you. Secondly, we have to start fast, but not just fast. We have to start strong and stay strong. Not a good first half and a poor second half. Not switching off after the break. Not losing intensity for 5 minutes. We must keep the same rhythm from the first whistle to the final whistle. Aston Villa are a very good team, and against teams like this, you cannot afford even 1 minute of relaxation. We have to be ruthless, focused, aggressive, and disciplined for the full 90 minutes. Anything less, and this league will punish you every single time. Thirdly, we are not going to Villa Park with the idea of dominating possession for the sake of it and then losing the ball in dangerous areas that will come back to hurt us. This is an away game against one of the strongest and most informed teams in the league, so we have to be smart with how we use the ball. The best approach for us in this game is to play direct football. There is no need to overcomplicate things by forcing passes out from the back when we are clearly set up with 2 strikers. We already have a goalkeeper who is comfortable going long, and up front we have Sesko and Cunha, power, height, strength, and energy, and we must use that to our advantage. Sesko stays as the main target man, Cunha plays slightly off him, and together they fight for the first ball and immediately battle for the second ball. That is where this game will be decided. The midfield must be alert and aggressive, ready to pick up second and third balls, because once we win those duels, that is when we explode with pace. From there, we break quickly through the wide areas with Mount and Bruno, supported by Shaw and Dalot pushing forward to deliver crosses back into the box. This is a very effective and trusted way to hurt a team like Aston Villa away from home. But it all starts with winning those first and second balls. If we don't win them, we can't attack, we can't build momentum, and we can't create chances. And this is how we set up without the ball in this game. We don't come here to sit deep, and we don't come here to invite pressure either. What we do instead is keep a very compact midfield block, high enough to compete, disciplined enough to control space. The attackers don't disconnect from the team, they drop in to join the midfield shape, creating a solid unit from front to back. This is not low block football, and I want to make that very clear. This is about blocking the midfield, cutting off passing lanes, and forcing Aston Villa into mistakes in dangerous areas of the pitch. When those mistakes come, and they will come, that's when we explode with speed and aggression. That's when we counter-attack with intent, with numbers, with purpose. By keeping the block compact and organized away from home, we reduce the chances of being hit on the counter ourselves, and instead we turn the game into one where we are the ones doing the damage on the break. And finally, the most important part of everything, we must take our chances. This is the type of game where missed chances will absolutely kill you. Away from home, against the most informed team in the league, you don't get many opportunities, and when they come, you have to be ruthless. We have suffered enough this season because of poor finishing, and we cannot afford a repeat here. Every chance matters. Every shot has to carry conviction. In the Premier League, if you miss chances, you will be punished, it's that simple. We have to be clinical, sharp, and decisive in front of goal. 1 chance, 1 goal. 2 shots, 2 goals. That's the mentality required to win games at this level. You cannot be wasteful and still expect to come away with points, especially in a game of this magnitude.